Is my screen?
No, you good. You good. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the CLASSYIT blog. We're out here in my garage, part 3. y'all loved the flag yesterday, so I brought it back again today. Now, if you don't know who I am, I'm the author of Smartphone Millionaire book. I invest in people, businesses, and real estate from the palm of your hand. You can grab it on Amazon. Listen, you can grab it at all the links. But it is my pleasure on this Tech Tuesday to bring to you the man of the hour, Mr. Chris Johnson. Mr. Chris, talk to him, because I'm going to talk you up now, because Mr. Chris Johnson's a veteran. Distinguished, 20 years in tech, running around out here, making things happen. You know, I had to beg him for his time.
I like
please,
that. I love the herald. The heralding. So right? I appreciate you bringing me back on, Erica.
Also, tell him about your book now. Listen, don't be shy. Bring it on. Talk to us.
Okay. Yeah. So definitely, you talk about the book that I wrote?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I wrote a book called Communicate, Not Communicate, 8 Keys for Leaders and Professionals to Communicate Effectively. Essentially, and shout out to Kimmoy. I was, I follow her and her progress, and I was just she living a good life.
She left us.
Yeah. I'm like, she lived a good life. And she uses the title IT career coach. And so I in terms of what I do, I think that pretty much explains what I do. So the book that I wrote really assists people with soft skills, or I guide people in terms of them developing a plan for hard skills as well. So that book is really important because communication is the key cornerstone for pretty much anything you're going to do, whether it's small talk or talking to groups or talking one-on-one interpersonal relationships, or whether it's public speaking. So, and I kind of give you some tips and ideas on how to deal with situations where there's conflicts in communicating with others, which is what people tend to want to know. How do I get out of this? So stuff like that and things of that nature.
I love it. Listen. We're going to do, like me, you, Tim Jackson, we're going to do a talk about communicating, because out here in these streets, it's rough.
It is.
You're talking to 35 to 50-year-old men, you'd be like, what's happening, brother? You talk to some of these women, you thought they was 18 on the phone till you meet them in person. Communication is the number one reason why a lot of people aren't in the jobs or life they want, honestly.
Yeah, honestly. And what they do is people tend, in terms of technology, people will focus on the hard skills, whereas the hard skills are pretty much, if you have the gift and the inclination to learn these skills, you can learn these skills. But the thing is, it's interacting with other people and communicating with other people and not letting the ball drop, and just basically having character and being able to give people difficult information. You know, sometimes I've had to tell CEOs, look, you can't do this project. You know, I know it's your money, but pretty much your environment won't support it. So you just have to
you
be able to talk like that.
You can do it, but some folks ain't showing to work next week. That's what's about to happen.
And it might be you.
Listen. And so you sent me some really great articles on what was going on right now in the economy. And I think it's just a lot of times people are like, Erica, how can I get in tech jobs? You know, tech jobs are so hard. And so I'm doing a little thing over here off to the side. I am getting a few certifications just to kind of be a smart A and be like, see how quick that was, see how easy that was. And I know it's hard. I know certain things are hard, but I always want to just show you guys the opportunity's out here, and it's not that it's not possible to do. So, first of all, I like your class because your class teaches. See, here's the problem. People come on the internet and they go, man, I'm going to do cybersecurity. Man, I'm going to do data this or that. They're just going to name a job they heard that was popular by somebody else. They don't even know if that job fits them well. And so what I like about your course is they get to do kind of assessment of their skills, and they get to chat with you. So
absolutely.
That's what I like. That's what I like. So again, explain to us a little bit of your career. You were in the military, but then you went boom.
Yeah, so I was in the military, and essentially I was an athlete, and my knees didn't work right. So I said, hey, I was in ROTC. I said, I got to go to the military. And they wanted to put me just, in the gym and do physical fitness and things of that nature. But I went and talked to a counselor, and the counselor basically said, hey, you should go into computers. So I asked them to find me a place where I can study computers, and I can study it on my own. because I understood, like the last class I took in high school, I could teach myself. And so pretty much I just stayed in the dorm room and I just taught myself tech skills. I taught myself the Microsoft Certified System Engineering, and pretty much I applied that knowledge. I had the benefit of applying it while I was in the military at my job. And pretty much, so when I left the military, my career just launched off. I was making $50,000 as soon as I stepped outside of the military, and it just kept going up from there. And so the military gave me the established foundation that I needed to launch my career and also maintain my career. So, yes.
So part of why I love it, because once you this is the thing. People think I'm going to get this one job and I'm going to just stay here until I don't. But life is about lifelong learning. And I'll talk to people like Kimmoy was on my class, right? Multiple times. I started asking my friends here in tech about technical writing, and they're both always like, huh? And then I say something, and then later they went back and looked at me like, yeah, they make a lot of money. There's a couple of them at my job. But even people that are in tech sometimes don't know about other tech jobs. And so that's why I like your course that gives this roundabout, let's do an assessment and see what you like or what fits your personality. And a lot of people don't understand that. But you sent me 2 articles that I think are really good, and I want to show them to everybody. Let me see here. Share my screen real quick. Oh, hold on one second. I see how it is. Y'all like the shades I see in the comments. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right. So he sent this to me. Developers are the new bankers. Wells Fargo's analysts predict a wave of job cuts, y'all. Did we listen? Where is Dr. Dix at to talk about automation? Y'all keep clowning him and he's telling y'all what's about to happen. Okay. It's not just happening to fast food service. It's happening to a lot of folk out here. Now, so break down what we're hearing in this article.
Okay, so in this article, what they're pretty much pinpointing is that with automation, as you were saying, not only is it pervasive, in terms of every industry, but this specific industry with bankers. See, I worked at a bank in early 2000. And you could slowly see what was taking place. You had, the smart people with the MBAs, and then all of a sudden, as automation has creeped in, what you're noticing is that software developers are now the new bankers, because essentially the software engineers have automated and created tools for these bankers that benefited the bank or benefited the bank company. And because it benefited the bank company, what do? They're going to streamline their operational processes. And when they streamline their operational processes, they're going to trim, because business people are thinking about the bottom line. And so when they trim, they're not going to get rid of software engineers or the technical people who are supporting them with their hardware. No, they're going to keep them. And so what's going to happen to the bankers? Well, what they're going to tell you in this article is that they're going to get rid of a lot of bankers. They're going to
cut 100,000 jobs, y'all.
Yes, 100,000 jobs.
ATMs everywhere. They rather fix the ATM than get lawsuits because Susan thought your check was funny and didn't want to cash it. I'm tired of seeing those articles. I really am. Like I don't know why y'all even have the nerve to speak to these ladies. Hold on a second. Because to me, when I go in the bank and they act funny, like, oh, I don't feel comfortable cashing this check. Let me tell you something, honey. Go get your manager. Let me see if they comfortable cashing this check, because you about to
exactly
have a conversation. You dig what I'm saying? I need more light up in here. I need some more light. But yeah, 100,000 jobs ain't no joke. That's why when people talk about I'm a banker, I'm like, okay, if you say so. Lots is coming down the pipe, not just for fast food workers, but for a lot of places. And again, I love how IBM is off to this ad is off to the right, because I live here in Austin and IBM just cut its company in half. So you'll go in the building. Well, it cut it in half, but it made a separate company. I think it's partly a tax thing and partly they needed like they aren't Dell. They needed to downsize, right? They needed to split in half.
Yes.
So my friend who's been with IBM 20 years since college, getting paid 100 bands since college. She is in the new company, still getting paid. And what she said is, you'll go in the building and one floor is the IBM, next floor is this. One floor is that, one floor is this. And your key card only works for your floor. So IBM shaking some things up. But don't worry, this is literally when you see guys talk about they're a banker or something like that, I'd be like, honey, unless you work with private clients, it's about to get tough.
Yeah,
So
a
yeah,
private
definitely
wealth
check out this
organization.
article. What was the other one you dropped? Because I was like, where's Dr. Dix? You know, he loves these articles. He loves talking about people getting downsized. That's his favorite conversation.
Automation.
Automation. Uh-oh. Why they always trying to make me log in? I'm not going to do it. I'm not buying nothing. It says IT market will add another 13,000 positions to tech. Deloitte is over off to the right. IT market in the U.S. has added an average of 13,000 positions during the month of each month. So let's say it's been 10 months so far. 130,000 jobs have been added. Now, this is typically monthly. They used to just add 5,000 to 8,000. Okay, why is this important, y'all? I keep telling you. You complaining about, is there math in tech? Is what's in this? A lot of things are going the way of the dodo bird. There are not going to be any easy jobs where you're going to be person to person complaining. It's going to be, let me go in the system and fix this for you, Miss Janice. Let me go in the system and do A, B, and C. Well, let me move this up to somebody else. Now, again, it talks about cybersecurity, e-commerce. Overall demand for workers in the U.S. remains strong. Indeed.com is up, posting 39% at the end of August to February 2020. So listen, when people say, ain't no jobs out there, Ericka, these employers aren't paying any money, and they in my comments crying about stuff. Honey, these people, medium salary for IT professionals is expected to grow between $96,000 to $97,000. Anybody in the chat can use $97,000 a year. Please put a 1 in the comments if you can use it. I don't know about you, but I think I could use it. So what are your thoughts on this article that you sent?
So this article right here, it just shows you that, for one, it's very competitive out there. Even though the jobs are out there, it's very competitive in that the jobs are available, the people are getting trained up, but then there's also gaps. So it tells me that there's growth. It tells me that with this growth, it's being influenced by the health scare that's going on. It's been influenced by the health scare that's going on. Yeah. And so you see a lot of people shifting and moving, and some people living in certain areas wanted to go to another area because they can work remotely. And so some of it is people leaving their jobs because they're not getting the flexibility that they want from another company, which because other companies are offering them compensation, but nonetheless, you can see that there's still new jobs. And it just shows you that it just keeps expanding. The opportunities keep presenting themselves. So some people, they lack the confidence, or like you were saying, like they don't think that there's opportunities out there, but you can clearly see that there's so many opportunities out there that it's very difficult for them to fill certain positions.
Oh, for sure. Listen, and Antoine Daniels just talked about how he was in a Zoom call and he took an executive job, and everybody in the room was basically Indian except for him, 2 white people, and basically him. And what I keep telling people, he said, I don't care who in the room, I'm gonna be in the room to get this check, right? And so I'm doing this little documentary following me taking these little tech classes because I want to show y'all how hard it was or how hard it wasn't for a couple of them, and just document it, right? Because I think we glorify, it might take too long, it was too hard. Let me tell you something. If you really, if push came to shove and you had 45 days to change your life, could you do it? That's really what I want people to think about. If you had 30 days, 90 days, don't wait until it's 2 weeks before the rent's due before you got to get out. Okay. Now, what's funny, what I'm noticing in Austin is we have a lot of, Austin had the rent moratorium, right? But ours was different. If they hadn't paid in 5 months and they didn't use rental assistance, you could put them out. Now, yeah. And so that ends October 15th. Well, today is October, what is it, the 5th? Let me tell you, I drove by many. Now, again, backstory, I'm opening a U-Haul location, so I know the traffic patterns of U-Haul. So the little caveat. But I was driving around Austin today, and I can tell you, them U-Hauls is moving, baby. People is packing it up. They not waiting till the 15th to get the eviction. They getting out before that, okay? So I just want y'all to understand that, like, if you want to get the moving and shaking, now's the time. Chris, someone asked, what branch of military were you in?
I was in the U.S. Air Force. They call us college students with blue uniforms.
The cheer force. Listen, I wish. Listen, I watched this girl's YouTube channel. She's hilarious. She's a nurse, right? And
Yes.
this guy came and talked to her one day at work. He's like, "Girl, they'll pay off all your student loan debt and do all this if you join the Air Force." And she said, "Nah, I ain't trying to. I ain't trying to go to basic." She said, "No, you're already a nurse. You just got to go to 4 weeks of training, where basically they teach you how to wear your uniform, how to march, and all this other stuff." Her YouTube is hilarious. She got a whole room to herself, 4 bunk beds by herself. She came in there, she brought her laptop, she got her cell phone, she just hanging out, right? Then they were like, "You got to eat." They one day they were just testing them and they gave them MREs for lunch. And she said, "Oh no." And they said, "Man, you're not gonna eat your MRE?" She said, "It's not, as long as I'm on US soil, I'm not eating not near MRE." And she drank water the whole time. And I was like,
Oh,
"Honey,
wow.
they wow out here in the Air Force now. Y'all get to do whatever y'all want." That is if you have a medical skill. Like, you had to have a medical skill to get that option. But it's in
Yep.
Alabama too, so it's like, I gotta sit in Alabama for 4 weeks. Ugh. Ain't trying to do
Hot.
that either. Hot, muggy. But yeah, I just want y'all to understand. Like, I put one of the articles inside the chat, but again, think about that. Bankers who really thought of themselves highly, getting the chop. 100,000 folks getting the chop. So I mean, pay attention. So um so let's talk. Now, people are saying, well, good for him. He was in the military. Maybe he knew somebody. But that's not the case. Tell them your story, Chris. You basically trained yourself a little bit.
I trained myself. I didn't know anybody in the IT industry. I was just encouraged by my counselor at a high school, and I was excited about technology. I went to a lieutenant and I said, "Hey, I want to be in IT." And he had a whole bunch of big books, and he said, "Hey, read this big book right here, and then come back to me." I read it and I just devoured it, and it was exciting to me because it was a lot of components, it was a lot of difficulty, but I read it, I studied it. He allowed me to go to a class, and when I did that class, I became an administrator, and I started just applying the craft, and I continued learning. I exhausted nearly all of the video library at the videos at the library, and they asked me to teach classes on the base. And when word just got around that Chris Johnson is the IT guy, and my career just took off because people kept asking me to do certain things. So I think it's a matter of, especially in the social media age, just making yourself known. Like you said, you're videotaping yourself going through a certification. When you make yourself known, people are watching. You may not know who's watching. And so in this age, it should be a lot easier than it was in my age, because there was no social media. There was just me and the librarians. And then all of a sudden my name went across the whole base. So if that can happen without social media, what would your life, or could your life be like, starting off on ground zero with access to nearly the whole world that can watch you? How much more success and opportunity could be available to you?
And here's the crazy part. I'm studying it, and then there's like 3 YouTubers right here in Austin who, I guess after they saw me at FitCon, was like, "Hey, let's do a video," and they're tech folks. So again,
Oh, that's
y'all,
awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. I'm actually going to a vineyard tomorrow to go hang out. And so what we're going to talk about, well, I don't know if we're going to record tomorrow, but long and the story short, it's a small world, y'all. Right? And I'm literally fighting people just to get on Indeed.com and get on LinkedIn.com to create a profile. Y'all out here specializing in Facebook, and Facebook was down yesterday. What'd you do all day? I hope you was fixing your LinkedIn profile, because that was all you needed to be doing. But that's just what I got to say on that. Brown Foxy said her IT teacher told her in class back in '99. And so again, look into internships and state apprenticeships. So I put a post up in the community tab, Chris, and so many people filled that thing out with information about, you can go here for this free IT, this free IT. Like, I mean, there's 30 different things. I literally could just read the community wall, and I'm just so proud of everybody sharing on there, because what happens is people are like, I can't find it. And it literally takes no time to Google. It's almost like when I visit people's hometown and I go, "Hey, you ever been to this?" "No, I never heard of it." How did I find something in your hometown by me Googling for 2 seconds, and you've been there your whole life? That's crazy. So that's why I said, Tim, y'all don't want this tech money. They throwing the money out the window. This is true, Chief Rocker. They are recruiting doctors, nurses, and dentists very differently. Very differently.
Exactly.
Thank you, Chief Rother, for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you for supporting the channel. Somebody said, love the honeys in the chair force. Y'all, wow. He said, can you suggest some programs for IT security? Fast track. Go ahead.
Well, if you know you're going to cybersecurity, I think this would be a best. This particular question is best for a coaching call. Just give me a call, and what I do is I can do an inventory of who you are, where you're coming from, what your gifts are, what your past experience, education, knowledge, and things of that nature. And then what I can do is I can help you develop a plan. So that's what the coaching component of Jumpstart IT Academy is all about.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to pull it up on the screen. Sorry.
Oh.
Jumpstart Academy. Put it up on the screen for you guys who are asking questions. Because a lot of times people are like, yeah, tell me some stuff. Like, no, let's make a plan and let's move forward. Like all this like listing 47,000 things. Nah, let's get on it. Someone said I went to a career center in the Garden City, 1999, and the influx of Indians came in. Hey, listen.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. When you know better, you do better. But at the end of the day, now that y'all know the money's out here, and you know your kneecaps hurt from standing all day at Home Depot, it's time for a change, right? Listen, I used to work at Lowe's, and the men in there complained all day. You'd be like, brother, just go do something else, okay? Let's just wrap it up. Amazon will hire them and create pharmacies. I believe that too. Amazon ain't playing. Atlanta had over 20,000 jobs coming to an IT. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So y'all got a lot in here. I see your comments. I see. Please put some quick questions in there for Chris while he's here. All right. So this is equipping tomorrow's IT leaders. We deliver courses, books, coaching, and mentoring to help you get there. Jumpstart. All right. So we got this pretty lady right here, Fast Track program. And again, you guys, the discount code for like 70% off is called CLASSYIT. So it's in there. Now, he also has some free courses here. He's got 10 minutes about the IT industry. Boom, you guys can enroll for free. I don't want to hear no crying about it. Okay, right up in here. Okay, for the free 99, because I know people be like, but what about me, a single parent? Here's the free 99. Chris has got coaching for $100 one-on-one. Let's get you in here. Chris has got over 20 years experience in IT industry, senior principal engineer. He's also an international author, military veteran, speaker, a real estate investor. So again, y'all take advantage of the people I bring on this channel because, hey, they about to go on vacation too in the fall. 18 keys to shine through a crisis and emerge as a true leader. Okay, what's that about, Chris? You adding new stuff in here. It's an ebook. Okay.
I wrote an ebook.
All right, I feel you. Put it in there. Put it in there. So yeah, you guys definitely, check it out. Again, I just want more people to leave the Classy Climb channel with a testimonial that they changed their life or they got a new job. Then people always, hey, I've been watching you for years. I'm like, well, what you do with it, right? That's all. I just want y'all to take some action on it. Well, this is true. It could be. LinkedIn is the spot. I've been offered several offers. Yep. Before I could even finish tech school. Listen, they were offered several jobs before they could even finish tech school. Where can you learn more about short-term IT without military involvement? Go to Chris's class. This is a question: database engineering or machine learning? Explain what you're asking, Kamal Webb.
Yeah, that's a coaching type question because I need to know what's your background. I need to know what are some of your interests because in IT, look, I literally studied nearly every day for like 20 plus years. All right. Now you say, well, how could you do that? Because when you love what you do, you want to always do it. So that's just the way it works. So I really enjoyed my field of network engineering. And so when you say database engineering or machine learning, it has to be something where you have a gift for it and you have a passion for it because it's just like being a cook. If you don't, if you like to make certain meals, that's good. That's your hobbyist. But if you just can't get enough and you got to always be in that kitchen cooking something, then that's different. Okay, so we need to know where your passions lie before I would answer a question like that, because is this something that even when you don't feel like doing, you're going to do? But with IT, for me, I would do IT for free, just to be honest with you. And I got paid a whole lot of money, but I would have did it for free because it was so much fun. It was like playing video games to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends. It depends on the type of person you are and what you lean towards.
Yes, that is the name. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Awesome.
She said, Brown Foxy, I'm working on this business medical building. I work for government and have 2 years of cross training. Still can't land a job. Regina, that sounds like that's a coaching call, because we need to figure out what's your resume look like. What's going on with you? What are you trying to do?
You need a plan.
Yeah, you need a plan. Bad aura. I don't know if I want to read that. Bad aura. You got to change that name, baby. You're going to bring that bad energy. What do you know about computer information systems? Do you feel that's a good degree to get tech in?
Computer information system is somewhat of a generalist. It's like that's like generalist. If you want to make money in this particular market, especially if you don't know people in the field, is you want to learn hard skills. You want to learn all hard skills like AI, machine learning, cybersecurity, something where your boss cannot do your job. Like my boss, he couldn't put together a server, he couldn't troubleshoot a Microsoft systems, he couldn't do none of that. He couldn't troubleshoot a Cisco router for his life. Now if you're getting a degree like that, then and I'm not going to push that degree away. I'm going to tell you this: if you're getting a degree like that and you're going to go into leadership and management, man, I'm with you. Go do that. Because you're going to need that, because you're going to need to manage IT. People who manage systems. You need to manage IT professionals. So in that regard, as a non-technical IT professional, yes. But do you feel it's a good degree to get? It depends on the person and what your goals are, what your intention is.
And break it down for them. You didn't start with a degree.
No, I didn't get a degree until I was 10 years in. It was sort of like,
please,
wait, the computer information
Back it
system.
Up. Say that again for everybody listening.
I was making over $65,000 a year, and I didn't have a degree. I decided to go back just because I said, hey, when I get older, I may want to be an IT manager. I may want to be an executive. It just gave me that flexibility, but I could have gone my whole career without a degree. I passed over 20 certification tests, so I could keep just taking certs, and those certs are the skills that pay the bills. You need skills to look. These IT jobs and these companies, they are desperate. If they're gonna pull somebody from India way over there, you are just as equally. You can prepare yourself right here, and the jobs are right here. So they're getting them from way over there. So build up your skills and compete.
Okay, y'all, did y'all hear that? I mean, because y'all be here like, I'm thinking about going to school for 12 years before I get into that. No, you can get in IT tomorrow. That's why I'm doing this documentary, filming myself doing these IT classes, because y'all staying here. Well, Ericka, you're not even in IT, so you don't know. I'm just going to show y'all how easy it was. In 45 days, we studying.
Love it.
So, because y'all be tripping in here. Y'all be having all the comments and ain't did nothing with it, okay? Amazon already has a pharmacy. I didn't know that.
Wow.
That's right. I said kneecaps. Kneecaps go bad standing on concrete. Y'all don't know that, did you? Go ask doctors who do knees. I'm not even joking. Really serious. Recently graduated, will be taking up data analytics, Google cert, and getting into healthcare analytics. Can't wait.
Good job.
We want to give a nice congratulations to, I'm not going to mess your first name up, Cohen. I can't say your last name either. Mr. J. Thank you, Mr. J. There's plenty of free coding classes.
Absolutely.
Tech school in person. Chris, how do you feel about Google's certification programs?
Well, I haven't directly checked out Google's certification program, but in working for AT&T, these companies, just in general, most of these companies, even the mid-sized companies now, are providing some sort of training for the people who are already indoor. But even for the people they're recruiting, the reason they're doing this is because speed. Technology is moving so fast that if you're sitting down in a college for 4 years or plus, by the time, I mean, a year is over, technology could shift so greatly. So,
Yes.
these companies that are offering these certification programs, how do I feel about them? I feel it's great. It's a recruiting tool because they're basically taking you off your couch and putting you in their office. And you need to know that.
And again, like what people gonna understand is in the next coming years, it's just gonna be cheaper to train them. It's gonna be
Exactly.
instead of running around hire. Like, look, do you want to go? Why do you think Starbucks is doing all this training? Starbucks is eventually gonna be keeping those people in their database who they know got their college courses, and if they need somebody on the other side of their company, they're gonna backfill. That's all
Yep,
that
they're gonna
is.
pull them in.
They're like,
Exactly.
oh yeah, come on in. My family was concerned about me because I had 2 flat tires today. I left a construction site and got nails and 2 tires. They're like, "Are you okay? Did you make it?" I'm like, "We made it. We're fine. Got it replaced." Um, in tech to stay, you have to produce results. You can't just show up and get a check. It's always learning. For sure, Michelle Green. But I will tell you this: my friends, whenever they get pissy at work, they will go get on in. They get on LinkedIn like, "I'll go get another job," and then they, I
Hmm.
mean, it's the craziest thing. And I don't see that in other places. A lot of people get mad at their job and got to go sit down in the corner and think about their life, and they don't just get up and quit because they can't just hop like that. When you have an in demand skill, you can. Tam, who I think will be on next week's show or the week after with Mr. Chris Johnson, says AI, ML, automation, network engineering, agile, and data engineering. Mr. Kevin said he got his degree 5 years into his IT career. Come on, y'all. Get
Exactly.
up in here. Mary said, Dr. Dick's gonna come for y'all talking about not having degrees, getting IT. Listen, we're not saying don't have a degree. What I'm saying is don't let it stop you from getting your butt in there. Now, once you in there, let your company pay for that degree.
Thank you.
Let them pay for that degree. Let them cut that check. Oh my gosh. Said I had a professor over once had 90 certs. I mean, what was he
Exactly.
doing? Just taking certs every weekend like a weirdo?
Yeah. Some people are like
Pretty
that
much.
and they're just smart.
Said it. They need people bad. They
Yes.
down bad.
They're competing they're
So
competing with each other.
what are some of the IT programs you took to start learning the basics?
The IT certifications I took, Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
Certified System Engineering. I skipped A plus. I recommend people take A plus first, though. In my course, the Fast Track to IT, I pretty much tell you some of the knowledge that you need. You see, because you need general knowledge. Okay, you say,
Right.
what do you mean? I'm going to tell you how to make 6 figures. To make 6 figures in IT, you need to specialize in something. Like you need to specialize in something that needs to be something you're known for. So I did network engineering, but I was also a system engineer for the first 10 years of my career. So I could fall back on that, but I stuck to network engineering. I said, this is where I'm going to stay. And so I stayed with network engineering. I added A plus skills. I added the ability to be a professor. So I taught at a college. I just kept adding all these other general subject areas and knowledge so that when I got to the point where I was a principal engineer, I could be in the room with system engineers. I can be in the room with programmers. I can be in the room with, project managers. I've been a project manager before. So what I would say is, what you want to start with knowing where you want to go, and then you want to add general skills. Like you need to have a general understanding or working knowledge of cloud computing. You need to have a working knowledge of AI. You don't need to be the AI person, but you definitely need to know what it is all about, because if you're a system engineer if you're a system engineer and you got servers that you're managing, that AI information is going through your server. So your server doesn't work, the AI guy is going to go in there and say it's your fault. So you got to be able to defend your scope, which is the device, which is the server, and you got to be able to speak the language to the AI guy. Otherwise, he's going to say, "I don't understand what this person's saying," and sometimes it causes political fights. So, I would say start off, know what you want, know where you want to go, specialize in something, have a plan, keep working that plan, and even if it's raining outside, it's gonna get sunny. Okay, just keep working your plan and specialize in something, and then add general skills, but stay specialized. Focus on one thing.
Sorry, I just realized my mic was muted.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking
I was
like,
texting you. I was texting you. I said,
hi.
I can't hear you.
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to not eat these chips in y'all ear because y'all complain every time. So I try to mute myself, take a snack. Okay, what I was gonna say is several people in the comments said they were having a rough time and they took 6 months off and they phone blew up every day from recruiters calling like, hey, what's up? Same thing for truckers. But again, tech, different levels. Amazon purchased the largest online pharmacy years ago. They have a license in all 50 states. Man, they about to cut up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the best way to learn Python?
The best way to learn Python is to evaluate how you learn. You know,
Come on, y'all.
there's a component in the Fast Track to IT where I teach you how to learn. Because in IT, you need to learn how to learn because technology moves so fast. If you don't have a method, you can get left behind. Okay, so what is the best way to learn Python? What's the best way for you to learn? How do you learn? Do you learn by hearing? Do you learn by seeing? Do you learn by doing with your hands? You got to move stuff. So if so, then you need an apprentice. You know, maybe you need to do some
Mhm.
sort of apprenticeship or internship. So because you just like, hey, I got to see it. If I can't see it, I can't do it. No problem. Go get yourself apprentice, and then that's how you build your career. But it depends on how you want to learn. For me personally, and the learning method that I teach take information in any way that you can. If you can get hands on at the same time you're reading, at the same time, you know, for me personally, I would listen to myself read. I would read books to myself and record it, and then listen to it when I drove because I had a 4 hour commute. And so not only did I read it, I listened
4 hour
to it.
commute. Jesus.
Yeah, I was traveling like 4 hours to downtown LA.
Y'all
Ooh,
listen.
man,
Drop a
got to
one in the
pay the price.
comments for the prayer for the 4 hour commute. Drop a one in the comments if you like the information. Drop a one in the comments. Okay, 4 hour commute. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night.
Yes,
Okay, I was about to say
absolutely.
if you're doing that's just insane.
I was a
Y'all
field
can have
engineer, so
California.
I was driving all day too.
Ooh, no, y'all can have California. California does not know how to party. Okay. Kamal Webb, it's the best to learn. Dang it. Is it best to learn programming fundamentals and then learn with project-based learning?
The type of question you're asking is basically, is there a way to learn? And I'm going to tell you that it depends on how you learn. You know, because I think it was Rip Van Winkle. You know, I read his book and he's describing how it took him 20 years to learn how to tell jokes. You know, and you would think literally, you think like, man, like, what are you talking about? You was funny this whole time. Well, it depends on, you know, in terms of learning, it depends on where you start, what opportunities are available to you, because it's not there's no recipe. There's nothing that is just like nice, and you know, this is a nice box. You open it up and you pull out the scroll, it rolls down, and step 1 through 5, and you're going to be there. It's not like that. It's mostly like, hey, you know, they told me you got to manage this project. I never been a project manager before, and I just had to figure it out. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's like that. So I would say start where you're at. If you only have access to, you know, because sometimes it could be limited by budget. If you can buy a book, just read it, and read it casually. You know, just read it, just kind of get familiar with it. Go to different websites if they have free courses and take it. And then all of a sudden, what you'll find out is you become good at it. So that's pretty much how it works. I wouldn't say don't, but I wouldn't have the attitude that I'm going to learn how to do this and this is the way you learn and this is the method and the way. Because think about it like driving. You know, I use an app where, you know, if I get stuck, it takes me somewhere else and I can get there quicker. So that's pretty much how learning goes.
Facts on facts. Quit. Phone, turn off. Okay. So we got down here. If you want to be on the edge, check DevOps for quantity. Listen, y'all need these words. Quantum computing cloud from IBM. You don't need to know quantum computing. I don't even know. Saying it wrong. Is that how to say that word? Can you see it on your screen?
Quantum computing. Yeah,
Okay,
I can see it. Yeah, that's it. You
Okay.
said it. Actually, yeah, you said it right.
Okay, thank you. Someone said, any advice for upcoming computer school science graduate? That sounds like is that associate's degree? But go ahead.
No, that sounds like a bachelor's degree.
Uh-oh.
Computer science. Yeah, you sound like you did programming. That's usually an aggressive curriculum. I would recommend you specialize in something, because you already have the degree, so you already have credibility. People just starting off with nothing. The problem is I got to create credibility, and you can do that with project-based learning. But in your particular situation, you already have a computer science degree. Specialize in something. You already have the credibility. Now just say, hey, all I do, it's just like these superheroes in these movies. Thor's got the hammer, and this person can fly, and this person, turns things into ice. You got to find out what your superpower is, and your superpower needs to be what you specialize in. And that's so whatever you learned in your program, and you say, hey, I love this, and you figure, hey, I can make $200,000 once I get to the top of my field. Do that and just have faith and keep pressing forward, no matter where you have ups or downs. Because I've been set on the bench so many times, it doesn't matter to me. I kept focusing on my plan. I kept working my plan no matter what.
I got it. I like it. I like it. So, Tammy here. I have a degree. Y'all funny. Let me see here. A+ was cool. Taking the computer apart. Is that what A+ is?
Yeah, A+, I loved it. Yeah, I taught that class. You just take computer apart and you learn the different pieces, and then you become less intimidated. Because, I mean, I didn't have the silver spoon in my mouth. So when I started studying computers, I had these stereotypes like it's some nerd with tape on his glasses and stuff. But when I took the computer apart, I said, oh, that's all this is. That's pretty much how it works. At first, I was scared to touch the computer. My mentor gave me a computer before I went to the military. I didn't touch it. I didn't touch the computer, so I got in the military. Don't be like me.
I got a web dev tech job with a Fortune 500 company without a degree. Just list the school. They generally to check that if you're, they're just doing that to see if you graduated. Got you. Fortune 500 company help desk hiring manager. Congrats. Yeah, the days of the Y2K scare. Okay, here you go. I graduated with a master's in educational technology, and I'm open to opportunities. I will sign up for coaching. My passion is to make money. All right, the wheels. I feel you. Congratulations. This person said, I agree. I started with CompTIA A+, and get the basics. And now I'm focusing on cybersecurity, working on my Security Plus now.
Good job, Quentin.
Someone said explain specialization.
Oh, my bad. I thought you get that. Specialization is basically, excuse me, in technology, we call it a subject matter expert. Pretty much, if you focus on database, it's like, okay, so you're a database administrator. But when you go into the database administrator department, I don't need the Oracle guy. I need the SQL guy because I got a SQL problem. Okay. So when I say specialization, I mean, this guy has done SQL, ever since he left his mom and dad's house. He was playing with SQL in the high school computers, and he went to college doing SQL. He got out, he was doing SQL, and now 30 years later, that's the SQL guy. Okay, so specialization is just something that, you're known for, something that you focused on, something you devoted yourself to. That's specialization.
Gotcha. Jules said, I already have a cybersecurity internship with the Department of Energy and Homeland Security. Not even finished up yet with school. Girl, she got all the checks. Jewel, write us a donation. You got all the monies now. I know that's going to be paid. Someone said, people get into tech and love it. My father's 68 and participating in hackathons simply because he loves tech. Congratulations, folks. I feel you.
It's addicting. Trust me.
Is it best to go Network Plus, then Security Plus?
If you have a network background, if you read network books, there's no because what you're talking about is general skills. Okay. But when I talk about general skills, there's no really with general skills, you don't really need to have some specific plan as far as what you're going to do. Like, oh, do I do network plus? Do I study cloud? Do I do security plus? If you have a security background, do security plus. It's easier, get that confidence going, and then do network plus. But when you're talking about general skills and you're not specializing into nothing, then I would say what you go with doesn't really matter.
Gotcha.
Unless your company's demanding you to learn something, and you know a project's coming up. Obviously, you need to study, you know, security. If you have a security project coming up, you need to know that. Yes, ma'am. 4 hours.
Google personality test. You need to know your learning style. Let's see. Amazon Kindle Unlimited has tons of books you can borrow for a certain amount of money. My son is 12. What is the minimum age for IT trades or apprenticeships?
Well, you can get a CCNA, I believe, at 13 years old. So I specialize in network engineering. So I would say, what's the minimum age for trades and apprenticeships? In terms of apprenticeships, when I've studied apprenticeship, especially here in California, it's 18. Some of them were, I believe, 16. They might have been 16, but the typical age for apprenticeship is 18. But the thing is, I think if you have a student such as a 12-year-old and they're doing like coding, look, if he or she knows, or he knows how to do coding, hey, you know, you go on Fiverr, nobody knows you're 12. I wouldn't. And if you get the project done, I would pay.
Fiverr. I wouldn't tell nobody.
I'm just saying. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like if you find a way to sell your skills, sell them.
Yeah. All right. So let me scroll down the last little bit. He said, I want to make 600 grand like you. Oh man, y'all wildin'. Y'all put any last questions in here. We're going to get ready to wrap it up. You know, we ain't going to make him be in here answering 47,000 questions when y'all can book that call. So please keep this up. No, we've been out here too long. No. Let me see. I got a lot. My stepson is 26 and going from job to job. What would be the best way to direct him to IT?
Tell him to,
he needs a personal assessment test.
Yeah, you know, start first of all, like this to me. In the fast track to IT course, I got a quick MBA for tech. There's a leadership course in there, and there's a management course in there, and an entrepreneurship course in there. I would recommend he check out the fast track to IT program and get a foundation going. Okay. And then after he gets a foundation, because he'll have understanding of what he can do, what he cannot do in IT, if IT is something that interests him. And then he'll go through the business course and he'll have general understanding of that. And then give me a call and then we can set out a plan, because at this point he'll have the understanding of hard skills that he could acquire. He'll have the understanding of also leadership and entrepreneurship. So he'll know what he may want to do, and then we can work with him to develop a plan, whether he wants to go to college or whether he wants to just, you know, hone in on a specific skill that interested him.
Okay. Someone said, so after taking your class, would I be able to start working immediately? I think you'd be on your way to figure it out. But go ahead.
Yeah, you'd be on the way. No, I'm sorry, Erica.
No, go ahead. You first.
Okay, so basically, my course is basically teaching you how to form your IT career. Okay, fast track to IT is about somebody who says, hey, I want to go into IT, but I really don't know much about it. I don't know the difference between a system engineer, a network engineer, a coder, a programmer, a software engineer, or IT manager. Well, I can give you an overview of all those different careers. I give you the salaries that they make. These are careers that you can check for yourself on Google. They're in demand. And then once you get an understanding of these different careers, and I give you my own personal experience that I've had with these different professionals, plus my own professional experience being these professionals, and then you'll get an understanding of what it's like to be in IT, just scenario based in the course, and you can develop a plan for yourself, and then you can, you know, if you still need assistance, book a coaching call, but you should have at least enough understanding where you can read a book at home or take a course and go from your house to, you know, working for a company.
And again,
no guarantees, but
no guarantees. Then y'all try to, well, they didn't guarantee it. Listen,
yeah.
We can't guarantee you. That's against the law. That's against the law. So crazy. People are crazy. All right. So is there tech jobs in art?
Yeah, because you're getting into like Adobe, so things of that nature. Because my daughter is really good at being an artist. So what I would do if she said, you know, hey, I want to take your course, Fast Track to IT. First of all, I tell her, hey, you better go to Ericka, get that code,
Get that discount.
you gotta get that discount. And then I would recommend that she study Adobe and start basically. You know, I put it like this. You know, when Moses was at the fire, God asked him, "Yo, what do you have?" He had that staff. So, what do you have? You got art. So, take that art, find out where in IT you would fit in, where in IT you'd be able to, you know, 10x that thing. You know, take
Right.
it to another level.
And your class is self-study, right?
Yeah, it's self study. Yeah,
I like it.
I'm basically showing you everything that I did. You know, I'm showing you this is how I created my own curriculums. This is how I graduated with a bachelor's in 6 months. This is how these are the business skills that I used. This is how I thought. This is how I think entrepreneurially. This is how most high level entrepreneurs think. And so I just basically give you in a package everything that gave me the cutting edge, which you know puts you on the fast track.
Listen, y'all. I keep bringing on tech professionals to kind of break down some of y'all fears about tech, but I want you to really understand, like that time frame I told y'all about India being closed. They only gonna be closed so long. Give yourself that running head start to get into some of these careers and get your bread up. Get these big dollar things. Listen, there are several women in Austin that own homes, and people are like, "How can they own? How could Austin have all these $500,000 houses?" Because if you're getting paid $69 an hour remote work, you making 132,000 a year. Y'all missing the big paychecks out here for no reason. Okay, somebody said sold. Go ahead and grab the class in there. But yeah, CLASSYIT is the discount code. He'll be back on again. He'll be back on again next Tuesday with Technically Speaking, and then the Tuesday after that with Miss Tamika, Women in Linux. Bring your questions, get yourself prepared. But again, we show you article after article where they are hiring. What did you think they did during this whole time while the pandemic was closed down? They were figuring out ways to get y'all out of the equation. If I don't have to pay for somebody to sit up in the front office and be on Facebook all day goofing off, I will find a computer person to do the job. And what's funny is all these IT people I got two jobs. Like they just be out here cutting up because they can do the work remotely. So again, y'all don't miss the train. So Chris, thank you so much for coming on here. And where can people find you on these man's internets?
Well, you can find me at Jumpstart IT Academy on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube, Jumpstart IT Academy, and that's a good way to get in contact with me. And if you want access to the course, go ahead and get that code from Ericka and move forward.
I appreciate it for sure, for sure. I'm trying to stay remote. Black hashtag Black Tech Twitter. See, y'all are so wild. So, anyways, you guys, thank you both for sharing this for real. Thank you guys. Listen, thank you, Chris, for your time. I will see you out in LA in November. We're gonna toast it up. How far is Sausalito from there? Sausalito is the Bay, right?
Yes, I think you're talking about the north.
Okay, that's Sausalito the Bay. But I'll be in Los Angeles in November for Todd Millie's event. So I'll be speaking, but I don't know what day. He better not have me 9 a.m. Saturday morning. I'm like, come on, man, don't do me like that. But anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka, Classy Climb blog. All links are in the video already below. You guys hop in here, get yourself on board. Again, I told you, I sat in a room full of people who already made plans for next year into August. There's already people who are planning their life next year. If you are not even sure what you want to be doing, you need to be able to get somebody who can, from the outside in, give you some structure, right? And help you walk along the path. Some of y'all need some help with a little extra push. That's all. But yeah, thank you, Chris, for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. This is your girl, Ericka. Classic Climb blog. Later.